Hi, my name is Alona, and I like to garden. Today is April, and we are taking a look at my seedlings. We're going to look at my flowers, and we're going to look at my vegetables. If this is something you're interested in, let's go. Let's start with my vegetables, and let's take a look at these hanging planters over here. Now, in these planters, I am growing peas right now. I have planted 8 seeds per planter, and as you can see, some are already up, others are still coming in. So in this planter, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 that are up. Another 2 are coming in over here, and 2 more are still missing. So we'll see if they will grow sometime soon. Here's another planter again. I have the whole row of 4 over here, and then towards the back I have this one coming in, and nothing else yet. Here's my third one. Now this is my most successful planter out of them all. I got 4 in this top row, and then 1, 2, 3 in this bottom row. I'm still missing this one. My fourth planter, I have 4 total up over here that are really well visible. Nope. I do have one coming in right here today, so that's exciting. There's still hope that more will come in. And then this is my last planter. I do have a few 1, 2, 3 on the bottom here, and then 1 more coming up towards the top. As you can see, the bottom rows are doing better than the top. And I think it's because these planters are kind of slanted forward a little bit. So I do think that the moisture kind of travels down, and these seeds stay a little more hydrated than the ones up above. And so they germinate faster. I don't know. It's a working theory, but this is where it's at right now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 planters over here. Now here are my garden beds, the beds that we built together a few videos ago. If you missed it, go and check it out. It was a lot of fun. So in these beds, I have my brassicas planted already. So lots of cabbage, lots of broccoli, and I do have 1 kale in there. Everything's doing pretty good. Cabbage, broccoli, another cabbage. I did plant some seeds over here for spinach. I have a few that are poking through already. I got 1, 2, 3. There's another one coming in right there. These seeds, it looks like they kind of travel, but I did put 9 per square, so hopefully more are coming through here very soon. Over here, I got some carrots. Nothing really. Actually, looks like I may have one tiny friend coming through. Oh, do you guys see it? That's my first carrot poking through, but I have 16 carrots per this square. Nothing has really come in any meaningful way yet. Again, lots of cabbage and broccoli. There's my 1 kale. I got more spinach seeded over here. I have 4, 5, 6, 7 that are up, and then 2 more may or may not sprout. Over here I have beets. I planted 15 beets here. I'm trying to plant them in clusters of 3. So I have 3 here, 3 here, 3 here. I get 4 over here, but only 1 in this corner. So hopefully I got a couple more. If not, maybe I can move 1 of these over here. And then the last square that I planted is more carrots, but not a lot going on here either. At least not yet. And now I do have some extra plants over here. I have a couple extra cabbages and a few extra kales. As you can see, my cabbage is doing pretty well. But the kale, I don't know. It's kind of struggling with the weather being up and down. These live outside at this point. They stay overnight on here too. They dry up pretty fast in these cups. and the weather's beating up on them pretty good. There's some wind, we have some hot days and some cold nights, so I'm sure it all factors in. Ideally, I would like to get these sold, and I think cabbage would do okay, but kale, I don't know if anybody would want to buy these. They do look a little beat up, in my opinion. So I'm trying to give them a little bit more time to kind of catch up and see what would be the best purpose for these plants. Not all of my seedlings are outside. Some are still indoors under grow lights. So I'm going to show you these a little bit closer. I'm going to go ahead and turn the grow lights off for now so you guys can see a little bit better. Okay, that's a little bit better. So let's take a closer look. Now I do have my herb garden over here. You guys watched me put this together a few videos ago. If you haven't, please check it out. This is how my herb garden is doing right now. I've been able to harvest some dill off of it already. But this is what it looks like now. I do have some more flowers over here. These are mostly snapdragons. I have some that are doing really well that need to be potted up again. And then I have some that are struggling still. Now, all of these snapdragons were started at the same time in this tray. The ones that were doing well, I up potted already once, so they're doing even better. These guys were even smaller at the time, so I kept them in these cells to hopefully grow a little bit bigger. Some are doing better, some are still pretty small. So I'm going to have to decide what to do with these. But these guys I definitely need to pot up. Now toward the end here, I do have some smaller seedlings. Again, mostly strugglers. Some, looks like I have a pepper over there and a couple of tomatoes, some chard that I probably need to move at this point. I do have a couple marigolds towards the back there. And then I do have a few more smaller tomatoes here. Now, this year, I ran into a problem with my tomatoes germinating. I don't know what I did wrong. I kind of leaned towards the temperature of being the culprit, but I had some tomatoes that sprouted up really fast and were going well, while others were just kind of sitting in the ground, so not germinating. So then I reseeded them, and the new ones were kind of sitting. Some more sprouted, but they were mostly sitting. And then I kind of gave up on those cells over time. And then eventually they kind of started popping up one at a time, randomly here and there. For some of them, it took like a good month to germinate, which I've never heard of a tomato taking this long to germinate. Now, granted, the seeds I got were from a private seller on Etsy, so I don't know how old these seeds are. They were marked heirloom tomatoes, so I really not even sure what specific variety is included in those. So there may be some of that going on too, but yeah, there's something really finicky going on with my tomatoes as they were germinating at really random times. And I have some big ones like these guys right here. Like this is a good sized tomato, right? And I have some smaller ones like these ones, and then I have some really tiny ones like these ones right there. So not sure what to make of it. I do have some peppers. I have some sweet peppers and some jalapeno peppers. Now with jalapenos, I started them a little bit earlier compared to sweet peppers. I just heard that they take longer to get going. This is only my second year starting from seed for the vegetables. So still learning here. And my peppers kind of look different. So like this is a jalapeno. This is a jalapeno, and this one is also a jalapeno. And they were all planted at the same time, and they all had the same growing conditions, but as you can see, they all look different. So I'm not really sure why they're this different. Again, just a newbie veggie gardener. I know a lot more about flowers. Vegetables are kind of new to me. So I'm kind of watching them and seeing what's going on. And then towards the back, I have more tomatoes. Now, these are brandywine tomatoes. And again, I think I'm not doing a very good job, like, taking care of them, or maybe it's my soil, I don't know. But these look to me like they have an iron deficiency, maybe. They have some yellowing in the middle here. And from what I understand, tomatoes are not supposed to have that. So, just kind of watching that and see how it's going to progress. They're still growing, but this slight yellowing appears in the middle. So if you guys know more about these, please leave me a comment. Let me know what's going on. I'm always welcoming more context and more information about what I'm doing. I do have a couple eggplant here again. These to me look like they could use more iron. I don't know. But I'd like them to be deeper green. Maybe they're supposed to be like this, but like I said, I'd like them to be a deeper green. So that's what I got here. Again, I do have a good sized tomato here, but it also has a slight yellowing kind of in the middle where it's growing. So there's that. Like I got some sunflowers back there too. My husband got me this cute pot with sunflowers, so I'm growing that too. I have a humidity tray. I'm trying to propagate some roses in there from a beautiful bouquet that I had a couple months ago. It's not going very well, but I'm experimenting, so I guess that's okay. And then here I have a few more herbs, a couple more peppers, sweet peppers, and I do have more eggplant. And this eggplant I really don't like. So this one, as you can see, it also has yellowing on the leaves and like brown spots. And again, I'm not sure what's going on. So I've put some neem oil on this because, I mean, maybe it's a nutrient deficiency, but maybe it's some kind of fungus. So I've been using some neem oil on it the last couple of days, so I'm not sure if that's going to help. I got more eggplant back there. I do have a couple herbs. I have a thyme, sage, and another sage. A couple more tomatoes over here. So this one is a brandywine. And then this one is a cherry tomato. And then last but not least, I have some lettuce. So I've already harvested off of this tray a couple of times and just keep it in the house under the grow light. As you can see, it's populated, it's growing a lot more leaves again. So it's going to be ready to harvest again. And it's actually been a pretty fun experiment that I have started this year. So I'm really enjoying having this in the house and having this readily available. I wish I started 2 of these, to be honest. But this is my veggie tour. Now moving on to flowers. I do have quite a few flowers that I started this year. I wasn't planning on starting this many, but the seeds were really small and a bunch of them germinated and I didn't have the heart to get rid of them. So I think I'm just going to try and sell the extras. But here's what I got so far. So I got some coleus right here. I have maybe a dozen of them or so. I do like this plant a lot. Now I have a ton of petunias. Unfortunately, I don't know what varieties these are or what colors they will end up being because it was a mixed seed packet. So I'm waiting for them to bloom to kind of see which ones I want to keep and which ones I want to get rid of. But you guys have been kind of sticking around and seeing me in my past videos pinching these flowers to get them to bush up a little bit. So now it's been about a week, maybe 10 days since I pinched them. And as you can see, I have a ton of new growth coming in. Look at how many new side shoots these plants have. Now, some of these, I am starting to pinch the new side growth already. Here, I pinched it up on top originally. And then there's been like side shoots coming in. So I've been pinching those, and there's more side shoots coming in already. So that's going to be really nice and big and fluffy. Look at these plants. A lot of new little side shoots coming in. There one. So these are my petunias. I also started some marigolds from seed. As I've been watching these grow in my past videos. They're starting to flower. Look at how pretty. Wow. I'm planning on sticking these around my garden beds to help with the pest problem, hopefully. So these will be moving once the weather allows. And these are my zinnias. Again, I also started them from seed. I also pinched these in the past video, and these have some side growth coming in already too. Got more zinnias right here. This one didn't really make it. Some of them are getting ready to flower. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? There's another one on that side. So some of these zinnias will be going into my yard. Others I will probably be selling. As you can see, I have a couple types of pots here. I have these white pots that I've had for a long time now. Somebody gave me a bunch of them a few years ago, and I just love them, so I keep using them every year. And then I have these red pots. These are just the solo cups that I get at Costco. So the plants that I'm keeping for sure for myself, I have decided to put them in these white pots. The plants that I'm not sure if I'm keeping them or if I'll be selling them, I've put in these red pots so that if I have to sell it and give it to someone else, I don't use those ones. I really like these containers. They're perfect for seedlings, especially vegetable seedlings. So I'd like to keep them as long as possible if I can. Now, I also have a couple geraniums that I have propagated this winter. I have a few geranium plants that I saved over winter, and they were getting pretty big, so I took some cuttings and rooted them. This one's getting ready to bloom. Isn't that fun? Again, I'm not sure if I'm keeping these or getting rid of these, so they're in the red containers. Now over here, I have some baby's breath. You guys have seen them grow. This is my moody seedling of the year. Yeah, it's been happy, it's been unhappy. These plants actually have a pretty different development. Look at this one and look at this one. I started them at the same time and they grow in the same conditions, but they just look very different. Look at this one. This is my first year growing these, so I'm not really sure what to expect of them. So I'm kind of trying to stick with them and kind of see what's going to happen because I do like baby's breath and I think it's going to be really pretty, like a hanging basket in a container. So hopefully I get beautiful blooms on it down the road, but I'll be showing you guys once they come. I got another zinnia here, also getting ready to bloom. More baby's breath, more zinnias. And I do have one more geranium towards the back over there that I also propagated and rooted. And here are my main geraniums. So these are the plants that I saved over winter. I literally dug them out of my containers. I do this every year and stick them in these 1-gallon pots and keep them in my basement. That's what I did this year again. And now that it's getting nicer outside, they're starting to come out, and a couple of them are getting ready to bloom. So this one, I think, is a light pink, and it's getting ready to bloom. Here's a little flower over there, and there's another one over here. This one, I think, is a deeper pink, like a fuchsia type color. So this one's getting ready to bloom too here soon. I can't wait. Last but not least, I do have this annual sedum on my porch. It's just getting used to being outside, so it's just sitting here for now out of direct sunlight. Also wanted to show you guys my perennials coming in. So I do have some Casablanca lilies. You might remember this area from the garden cleanup that I did as my very first video on this channel. But the lilies are coming in. This is, I want to say, the 4th year that they've been in this planter, so it's definitely time for them to come out, and I'm going to try and do that this fall. They're beautiful, and they're coming in strong this year. The next to lilies, I have this peony. It's these huge, white, beautiful blooms of peonies that grow on this bush. It's my favorite. And as you can see, it's a pretty big bush too. I'm hoping to move it to my front yard this fall. I think it's going to do well there. But this summer, for now, I get to enjoy it in this container one last time. And I can't wait for these flowers to form and open up and just be beautiful over here. I haven't planted anything else here yet. We are getting some warm temperatures during the day, but the nights are still really cold. And then we still have a chance of freeze for a few more weeks. So definitely we'll be staying put and not really planting anything outside anytime soon. But I do have this beautiful hydrangea plant. I got it as a gift a few weeks ago for my birthday, and I'm trying to keep it happy and healthy and acclimated to the outside. But as I was saying, it is still pretty early in the season. We wouldn't have hydrangeas blooming this way just yet in our zone for at least several more weeks, if not another month or two. So it's definitely early for this hydrangea, but I do love it. So it comes outside, it's getting used to the weather, and I'm trying to keep it alive until I can plant it in a permanent spot. It's just in a pot for now. And then towards the end of this planter, I do have another peony bush. It is also white. It is also big. It's also going to be beautiful. Sorry, guys. There's like a bee there, I think. So I'm trying to stay away. But there's my peony bush. And I do have more Casablanca lilies at the end of this planter, too. And those are coming in strong also. Finally, for my containers around the porch, I do have another peony. It's kind of tucked in the corner here, so it doesn't get a ton of sun. And it's not as big as the previous two that I just showed you, even though it's the same variety, the same kind. It's been put in the ground at the same time. So, how much smaller it is compared to those first two. It's incredible. That here, David's phlox is starting to come in really well. I have another peony. This one is a different variety. This is a Shirley Temple. It's this whitish pink type peony. It is very pretty, but as you can see, this one's not as big compared to those other two. Also, or David phlox. And then the last peony. Now this one's probably about close to the same size as the first two. It's the same variety. Big, beautiful white flowers. So these were my seedlings and my perennials as of April 25th, 2024. I hope you enjoyed the tour of my house. And as always, happy gardening.